Hi, everyone. My name is Susan Peterson, and I'm the Health and Human Sciences educator in Hamilton County. Strange times that we're living in right now, as we all know, and I'm sorry that we are not able to join together for this program on the importance of friendships, but I am glad and thankful that Purdue Extension is reaching out and able to provide programming to Extension homemakers through Zoom, through live recordings. And so this is coming to you by way of recording. The program is on the importance of friendships, especially on girlfriends. And it will be short because the program is intended, even through Zoom, to have some feedback and interaction. And so that's what I'm hoping for you to be able to do within your club, that you can teach this, have a great sharing time, whether it be over Zoom, a phone call, or in person, that you're taking this back to your clubs. At your extension office, you will have a copy. The PowerPoint will be included. I'm going to share that in the session, and you'll soon be seeing that. So you won't necessarily need that, but there is a worksheet that, as you talk about ways to staying connected and reaching out to those friends, there's a place for you to share, brainstorm, and things that you might want to do for this next year, how to get your club involved and stay involved, how you can reach out to those people, and as well as an evaluation. And we'll be sending that out. I'm not sure exactly if your office will be emailing that, and we'll ask that you just fill it out, either drop it back off to them, or if they're going to mail those to you, and include a self-addressed stamped envelope. But I please encourage you to share the information when you watch this, that you take some time and just have some discussions, and that you also please share the evaluation, and that give that feedback back to us, because that's really important as we go through, especially during this time. I mean, this is a way for us to stay connected, and we want to know how that we can make it better, how that we can make it easier for you. So with all of that, I'm going to share the PowerPoint. I ask that hopefully this will all go well and I can get this recorded. And I guess I'm not on here to see. Okay, so here's the PowerPoint. It's on the importance of friendship. As I mentioned, I'm Susan Peterson. I'm the Health and Human Sciences educator in Hamilton County, as well as the County Extension Director. And we're talking about the importance of friendships, and certainly during these times, how important it is to have those connections. And research shows us that a close circle of friends, they enrich our lives, and they're a key factor in our longevity and our happiness in our life. So friendships truly are important in relationships and communications. It's important to keep those. Friends can offer us support, they're encouragers, they help us to laugh, they accept us for who we are, and they give meaning to our life. And so it's not necessarily new information, but it's really telling you that it is important to keep our friends. So during this time, especially if you're feeling lonely, you be the one to reach out to them, because maybe for sure they are feeling the same way. We know that friends improve our health, and they do that by helping us reduce the risk of illness and by reducing disease. They help us reduce depression, and that includes Alzheimer's disease and dementia. And there's research around all of this. They help us improve our brain health. Just having engaging conversation with our friends is very important. They help us improve our self-esteem. They help to make us who we are. For young, regardless of what your age is, friends are important. They help us improve our academic performance if you're younger, helping us just to feel accepted. And they help our social skills. Overall, friendships help us to have a healthier and a happier life. They help us with the quality of our own life, and can influence our attitude. And there have been many times when you are kind of down and you have an opportunity to talk to a friend or spend time with a friend, and your whole demeanor can change. And so never, I guess, the importance of this in human relationships and human development is that at any age, at any stage of life, friendships and relationships are very important. And it's important to nurture those and stay connected. Oops. So wanted to spend some time, like as I said, whether we were going to be in person or really just over Zoom as we're talking, and what I would like to share with you and what I would like for you to reach out and share is why friendships are important to you. And you can say, well, I haven't really thought about, the difference that they make in my health, but think about those things about why friendships are important. And I think, sometimes for me, it's important to share things that I have going on, whether it be at home, whether it be at work, worries, friends that I have that have children the same age that my children are, and things that I can share. It's just fun, and it's fun to laugh. And, I have friends that have been friends since I was young that are still friends, and you can kind of pick up right where you left in any conversation. And maybe I don't talk to them, on a regular basis. Maybe it's been a few months, but all of a sudden you start talking and it's like, you had a conversation with them yesterday. Those kind of friends that are those forever friends that have an interest in what you're doing, have an interest in your family, have an interest in your the things that you're involved in, and they share is very important. When we look at characteristics of a good friend, what makes your good friends the best? And think about those things. And sometimes, people may share those, may be friends, they may also be relatives. Those best friends may be friends that are in your Homemakers Club or in another community organization that you're involved in. And they are just important. And when we think back and think about those like school days and your childhood friends, every stage of life, it's important. And when you reflect on those friends that you have, from childhood, friends that you have in college days, as young parents, and as you go through kind of as you get older and we age more, keeping those friendships is really important. And there isn't a special formula. There isn't a special recipe. It would be very easy. But just sometimes we have to create and seek out those opportunities that keep us connected. So the other thing I wanted to do was to share a funny friend memory, something that maybe you did. Maybe it was, during some, something that you did in your high school days. Maybe it was something that you really just recently had a conversation with them, a friend, and it was just something that you kind of started laughing. And I know my mom used to share a story about her best friend that she said, you know what, we could just look across the room. And we really didn't do that because you know what? We would just break out into laughter and we could start laughing, and it would be for no reason. And there were just those kind of special memories and special bond that they had. I can think of things that I did in school and friends that stuck up for me. I can think of my college roommate and think of the fun things and the things that just were goofy fun. We just had a good time. And we still talk about today. I can think of friends that, our children have grown up together, and we've been involved in sporting events and community events and church, and we've watched our kids and how much fun that we've had. So when we think of these, we think of characteristics. I have a long list, and I know that you do too. But take a little bit of time and just share like a friend memory as think of that. And as we're just talking here, when you're thinking about or preparing the lesson for yourself, take a few minutes and just jot down a few things about what makes friends important to you. What is your favorite characteristics of some of your best friends? And some couple of funny memories that you have. And before long, you'll start thinking there'll be more things that'll start flooding in. So take a moment just to do that. You can also write those few things down and then go back, write those down, and then just discuss them when you're teaching this program. When we look at the importance of friends, and there's two girls sitting there, it says a friend is someone who understands your past, they believe in you and your future, and they accept you just the way that you are. It doesn't mean they may give you advice or thoughts on things, but they accept you for who they are, because you know that the next day goes by and you're going to be able to pick up right where you left off. So the next thing I wanted to do was just to talk about staying socially connected, that there's not a set formula. What works for one person is different than the other, but we do have to seek ways and create ways to connect, and especially right now, especially during this time when there are a lot of social worries about getting together during the COVID virus. So it's important to do that. Also understand that some people are fine with having, as far as having a schedule of getting, together and so forth, that their lives are maybe filled with family time. And there are others who, they're okay to not spend as much time being socially active. So we have to get that, what is connection is important for each person. But when we look that it says connecting can be more than established friendships, you could also, if you are not being able to reach out or friends are not gathering, is there a way that you can do something through volunteering? Okay, maybe that's just volunteering for a neighbor. Maybe that is, walking in your neighborhood, maybe taking a meal or some cookies to someone, leaving them outside. All right, now you've been able to get out a little bit and hopefully connect. You could have relationships through a community center. I think depending upon the community in which you live in, it may alter and may change the number of classes that are being offered, but maybe to check into some of those. And you can also develop relationships through clubs and classes that you may be involved in these organizations. So I wanted to take a little time for you to just brainstorm ways that you could stay connected, whether this is in a COVID or a non-COVID world. How can we stay connected to our friends? Knowing that, as we get older, at any age, honestly, sometimes we have to be the ones to take that first step and share with them and be that connector and the creator of what we do. Now, this is way small. It's a very small PowerPoint, but I wanted to show it in a let me see. I wanted to show it in the PowerPoint because I wanted you to see this is something that you are going to be receiving. So this is something that you would want to share with your club members. Each person would get their own copy. And there's a whole list of things that are listed here that you could do and find your ways to stay connected. And what I would like for you to do, read over the list. Add your own list of things that you would like to, that are not included on there. And then just write in those wherever you want to do that. And then put a listing over on the side. You can see there's 10. There's 10 my favorite ways that were discussed of staying connected. So some of these things, we're saying throw a girlfriend dinner party. If the weather's starting to get a little cooler outside, but is there a way that you might have, look at the weather ahead, and we're going to have an 80-degree day coming up. And so you have a picnic on someone's deck where you're socially distanced. You could host a virtual party Okay, that could be over Zoom. If you don't like that, you have an iPhone, you can connect those. You can connect several numbers and you can all talk, and you can do that even through FaceTiming. And you can FaceTime together if you'd rather do it on your phone if you don't like Zoom. That's okay. Even then, you could be like, say, okay, we're all going to meet at 2 o'clock. You know what? We're going to meet on this number, or I'm going to call you all, or we're going to meet on Zoom. And then you know, and ask them all to have a snack, and then talk about what favorite snack they brought to your meeting, to your virtual meeting. Schedule a virtual book club right now. And so everyone's reading the same book. Can we talk about some of the things that are with that book? Maybe just phoning a friend, maybe planning a girlfriend trip for when we no longer have some of these restrictions. Maybe shopping trip, it's the same way. And people are shopping now. People are pretty much getting in and getting out. And it's pretty limited, like the number of people. So that may not be, that's one for hopefully within the next few months. Just sending a card, and maybe it's not, you're necessarily connecting, but you can always order a box of cards, send out a few notes to your friends and let them know that you're thinking of them. It will make their day. And you know what? Making someone else's day will make your day too. If your friends live close, or if it's a way you could connect, why don't you plan to take a walk? Bundle up if it's a little cooler. Get outside and just stretch. You can write a letter. You might have coffee over Zoom, or even on the phone. You might read to your children, to your grandchildren, and you know, just share a favorite book with them. Maybe you could plan your menus together. You know what? You can call and just say, what are you having for dinner tonight? One thing I get so tired of is trying to come up with dinner ideas. And then I ask my family and everyone says, I don't care. But then we sit down and they may not be happy about what we're eating. So anyway, plan your menus together and just get some ideas of what people are going to do. You can go antiquing if that's something you like to do on a time when not so restricted. Just spending time. Organizing a social distance picnic time, or maybe an exercise time. Maybe having a game night with others, whether that's, and you can have virtual game nights. There's a thing that I have not used, but it's called GrandPad. And there's one that's called Words with Friends, or Arcadium. Those are all different online games, and you actually play together. So those are some fun things to do. Now, you probably have a whole list. And what I'd like for you to do is to brainstorm within those clubs, take a few minutes and make your top 10 or some of your favorite connections of how in the next few months that you might stay connected. The other thing is that says anytime, but maybe on the left-hand side of the paper, maybe what you would like to do is to make a list of what you're going to do within your club to get through the next 6 months, and how you can stay and how you can share together. Now that I've kind of enlarged that, we're going to see. Bring it back. So in conclusion, as you can see, this lesson is a little shorter than normal because a lot of it was to be interactive, whether that was going to be that we could have a chance to talk over Zoom, or we were going to talk in person. So I want you to spend some time though, as you listen to this recording, spend some time just going through, jotting some notes down on the importance of friends and the health and your well-being, and then why you wanted to make sure that you're connected. Share some great girlfriend memories. There's nothing like a lot of laughter to make you feel better when you're talking about your friends and some of the crazy things you've done. But in conclusion, being socially active improves our physical health and it improves our mental health. Being socially active and staying connected with people is relationships. Also, look at it from this point. Time alone is also a healthy time because it gives you a chance for reflection, a chance for thinking of those memories, and a chance for brainstorming. And this, in conclusion, says, it's from the book of Friendship is a Blessing. A friend is a push when you've stopped, a word when you're lonely, a guide when you're searching, a smile when you're sad, a song when you're glad. A friend is someone who understands your past, believes in your future, and accepts you today just the way that you are. I thank you for taking the time. I hope to see you all soon. I'm anxious and glad to know and hear about any of the things that your club may have come up with and ways to stay connected. And I appreciate any things and thoughts as you're just thinking through this lesson. What brings a smile to your face when you're thinking of some of those friendships and the importance that they've had in your life. And I would ask that you please complete this evaluation. It's just a few short questions. Either just drop it off back at your extension office, or if they send you an envelope, please send that back. It will give us some feedback on how we can reach and connect with you over the next several months. We hope that you stay healthy, and we thank you for your participation and your involvement in Extension. These are the sources that I have listed, and thank you again. Take care and be healthy. Bye.